In this video, I'm going to tell you all about the new expansion for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice. It's called Apocalypse! Hello and welcome, my name is Peter and this is the Esoteric Order of Gamers. And I'm looking today at something very exciting. It's the new expansion that is going to be kickstarted very soon, probably when I release this video. It's called Apocalypse and it's for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice. Now you may remember I did some reviews and some painting tutorials for Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice back in late 2021 and 2022. And in fact, at the time I called it my game of 2021. It's a fantastic game and I still play it and enjoy it. And so Triton Noir contacted me and asked me if I'd like to see a prototype of this new expansion. And I said, yeah, because I really like the game. So I was very excited to receive this. Thank you, Triton Noir, for sending it to me. Now, first, let me make very clear that Triton Noir sent me this for free, obviously, and I'm sure they'll send me a free copy of the completed game. However, I do not charge for this video. I'm not making any money out of it, and my opinions are completely my own. I don't have a good chance to play this through to its completion, obviously, and in fact, it's not a finished product, and this isn't a full review. But it is an overview of what you get so far as described in this prototype box. So enough of me yapping, let's open the box, check out what you get, and see how this whole expansion works. Now, of course, the important thing to remember throughout this video is that this is a prototype. It's not a finished thing. All the components may change. There's going to be tweaks to the gameplay and further finessing. So please don't take this as a final product, but you will get an idea of what the final thing is going to be like. Here's the rules and memories booklet, and we have all the games of this particular campaign and the special rules for this expansion. I'll go through that in a moment. A few notes for me to remember. We've got a whole bunch of cards. These will come in a special insert, of course, but at the moment they're just in this box. We have some new tiles, some lovely looking tiles. These are very much themed in the sort of Cambodian ruins. Now, actually, I've been to Cambodia. I'm very lucky and walked among the ruins there at Angkor Wat and other places. And so this is particularly exciting for me because it's really nice to have a game set in a more interesting kind of environment and a different culture, which is great. I hope it's treated well. So we have lots and lots of tiles here for that setting, which is great. And then we've got some miniatures. And of course, these are, again, pre-production miniatures. And I'm going to show you these in more detail, but wow, let's just have a little teaser. Look at that. Oh, hey! Nothing like a huge serpent bursting out of the ground. And we've also got this Naga, which sort of acts as a tower in the game as well. Look at that. It's huge. Anyway, we'll look at all the miniatures soon in detail. There's some stickers to use during the game. There's also a map. And this is only partially filled out. We've got a little area here, but there'll be a lot more in the final product. We've got this large tile of a river. So let's see how this all works and what's different about this expansion from the original core set and the expansions that came with it. Well, here I am all set up for the first memory of the game. Now, I don't want to give away too many spoilers, but this is just the first game, so you'll be getting straight into this one. This is set in Cambodia. So it's in 1526, and your assassins, your group of assassins, is still, of course, in Venice, but they are called out all the way to Cambodia to deal with a bunch of renegade assassins which have been mucking about in the jungles of the ruins of the Khmer Empire. Now, the Khmer Empire, historically, lasted from the 9th to the 15th centuries. So this game is set about 100 years after the end of the empire. And here's a fascinating tidbit about the Khmer Empire. Did you know that they had the first healthcare system in the world? They had 102 hospitals. Amazing stuff. As I said, I've been to the ruins of Angkor and they're absolutely mind-blowingly spectacular. I highly recommend, if you have any interest in archaeology whatsoever, to go and check it out. And also, it's a beautiful country and the people that we met there were wonderful. Anyway, back to the game. So when you set up, you've got all the components from the new expansion, but you will need some components from your original game as well. especially your assassins, which you can get from the core game or from the Roma expansion. You can use those. However, you will be getting a whole set of reward cards and things to use as you go on. You start at level 2, and on the whole, the gameplay is pretty much the same as in the first set. However, there are some interesting changes, so let's check those out. First of all, of course, you've got new enemies. When you start off, you've got the Stalker and the Viper, which are the ranged attacks and the melee attacks. And there's a big focus on poison in this particular expansion. In fact, we've got special dice for it right here. So you can get poisoned during this game, which is really going to cause you problems. And in fact, is going to eat up your actions and make things harder to achieve during the game. You also have these things called danger tokens. And these are basically either cobras or crocodiles. Well, actually, there are other counters too, but I'll let you discover what those do. If you walk over and reveal one of these, you may get attacked by a cobra or bitten by a crocodile. However, you can, of course, lure the enemies into those spaces as well, because, in fact, the guards get attacked before you get attacked. So, interesting strategies there. Also, as I mentioned, we have this beautiful Naga statue instead of the tower. So you can go up to the top of the Naga and jump off it into the pools below where you can conceal yourself in the waters. You can also conceal yourself in a lot of the foliage around. And an interesting thing about this is that foliage, if it's connected on the different tiles, you can sneak from one tile to the other without having to undergo a detection test. And I really like this because this is a lot more like the computer games where you can sort of sneak around a little bit more before risking exposure. It all depends, of course, how the tiles are lined up on the board, but it does give you some opportunities to sneak from tile to tile through the foliage before you go for that attack, or indeed have to expose yourself to the risk of detection. Of course, we also have a completely new set of events which will evolve throughout the campaign, and it's really nice to see these. They have some lovely new artwork on them, which look really nice, and they're very evocative of the setting. We've got things like, leopards attacking you, patrols, and cobras hatching. There's a lot of cobras in this jungle, and you can even have guards cutting down the tall grass to reduce your options for sneaking about. Of course, through the campaign, we're going to get new events and new chests full of goodies arriving, and there'll also be more story events as well. There's a whole bunch of cards here. Again, I don't want to give it away because, I don't even want to give it away to myself because I don't want to spoil playing the game for myself. However, I will tell you that in this first game, you're going to be meeting another assassin called Xiao Hun, who is a Chinese assassin. You will find her at the start of the first game poisoned, and you have to try and go through this area to find the antidote while the guards are after you. I'm really excited about this because it's an entirely new setting. I love the fact that they just didn't do another European city or something like that. They've actually gone somewhere completely different that has a whole different feel. And talking about going somewhere completely different, of course, in the base game, you had your headquarters where you went back to after each of the memories. Well, it's very different in this expansion, and I really like it. You can travel to various locations in the jungles of Cambodia. Now, this map at the moment, this prototype map, shows only about a third of the locations that will be available in the final game. But what you do is you start off down here, and there's some numbers around here which tells you which locations you can travel to. 1, 2, and 3 to start from this initial location. You have 3 action cubes to spend to go exploring. When you go to one of these locations, you get the sticker from the sticker sheet here, peel it off and attach it in that location, and it gives you more information. Now, I don't want to spoil things here, but on the sticker you have all kinds of icons and things to do. Not only do they refer to memories, which you can go and play, of course, but there are lots of other things. You can draw particular cards from this deck, a lot of adventure and story elements, and you can also push your luck. If you run out of actions you want to keep exploring, you can spend points on the threat gauge, which is up here. And as you go along the threat gauge, eventually you will hit points where you draw particular cards where certain things happen. You might get ambushed by guards and stuff like that. There are all kinds of icons on these stickers, and you could draw exploration cards to have encounters, to visit ruins, to explore mysteries. You can even find observation points, which allow you to journey between other observation points, so you can move quickly between parts of the map. There's a dispensary where you can heal up, and there's a forge where you can do the old thing with the blueprint card and get new equipment. So I really enjoy this new mechanic, and I love the way that you're exploring through the jungle and you can choose which advantages to enjoy and which disadvantages to hopefully avoid. Well, there you have it, a quick look at Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice Apocalypse. I'm really excited about this. I love the core game. It's great. I actually haven't got onto the expansions yet, and I think I'm going to be skipping them and going straight to this one, only because I just love the theme. And I think assassins in the jungles of Cambodia, 100 years after the end of the Khmer Empire, among the ruins, dealing with guards with poison weapons, fighting off crocodiles and cobras. It really rings my bell. I just think it's a really, really good theme, and I'm really looking forward to playing these games. If you've already played and enjoyed Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice, this is probably a no-brainer for you. You'll definitely be getting this. If you haven't played the core game, I highly recommend doing so. It's a really, really good game. And I love the way, actually, just talking about it more in general, the thing I like about Assassin's Creed Brotherhood of Venice, a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? The thing I love about it is that you have these sort of self-contained little games which are really fun in their own right. And I like that there's sort of a little bit of a puzzle element as you're trying to work out the best course of action, the best places to go to achieve your goals and get objectives and things like that. But there's always that element of luck that means if you fail that crucial detection test, everything turns into chaos and you're desperately trying to escape as the numbers of guards increase. So there's that tension all the time. Luck can not go your way and everything can fall apart. I really like that, but I also really like the element of story that goes from scenario to scenario. You know, it's not a huge, involved, complex story and everything, but there's just that feeling of progression. You're always discovering something new. Now, in the core set, we had, of course, all the envelopes and the secret stuff that was in each of the envelopes, which is great fun. They've done away with the secret envelopes in this expansion, and I'm kind of pleased they have. I just sort of like the emphasis more on just getting the cards and doing the exploration in the jungle. I really, really like. As much as I really enjoyed the envelope stuff, it could be a bit fiddly at times. So I think this is a bit more streamlined. And I really like the idea of adventuring through the jungle and choosing where you want to explore and what things you want to do and deciding when you want to take on the next memory and stuff like that. So there's some very nice elements here, and it's not a huge change from the original set, which is good because the original gameplay was good, but there's just enough to make it really interesting and different. Of course, as I said, this is a prototype and things are going to change before we get to the final version, but I'm really excited about it. Well, I hope you found this interesting and useful. As always, do your own research, check things out, read the Kickstarter page, and do all that stuff before you decide to spend your money. But in the meantime, I will see you next time. This is the Esoteric Order of Gamers. I cover a huge range of games. I love all types as long as they're thematic and imaginative and interesting. So go and check out my website at orderofgamers.com. There's more than 440 rules and references that I've made. I'm a professional graphic designer and I've worked on games. And you'll find them very, very useful. You just have to download them, print them out, laminate them, I think is a really good thing to do, and stick them in your game box, and they'll make your game much, much easier to learn and play. Also, there's hundreds and hundreds of videos on this channel to enjoy, so check them out. You can search all of the stuff I've done over the last decade on that website, orderofgamers.com. And don't forget to follow me on social media and subscribe to this channel as well. Phew! Good gaming, everybody. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time. Bye.